Hey guys, hi, I'm G, and today I'm going to show you how to create an animated donut in Blender in 3 parts. So let's get started. In last video we learned how to create a textured donut. You can check out that video. Change the preview method with Z. Take care about screencasting. For liquid system, I need to create a domain and another object. Set the 3D cursor with Shift and right click. With Shift and A, I create a cube for the domain. Scale up the cube with S and left key. Set the view to wireframe. Change the location of domain with G key. Choose S and then Z to scale up in Z position. Now we have the domain. Create a UV sphere. Scale it down and move that to the top of the donut. Now I have to create the fluid simulator for chocolate. Domain will take a shape of sphere. I used sphere in this case, but in other cases you can use any of object. Select the domain and choose the physics tab. Select the fluid. Set type to domain and the domain type to liquid. Now select the sphere and choose fluid. Set the type to flow and the flow type to the liquid. Choose flow behavior to inflow. It will make us a continuous flow. Geometry, the object itself turns to water and fall and end. We don't need that here. Increasing the sampling sub-steps can help us to get the better result. Sometimes after baking, the water will pass the object and increasing will help in here. I'll go to the domain and choose the resolution to 64. This number is okay for now. Set the time scale to 0.8. If the liquid hits the wall, it bounces back. Basic domain is a wireframe for the liquid after baking. We can turn off any side of our domain, but now we don't want that. Select this icon and choose the water or any that you want. I choose the water. Increasing the exponent will make something like honey. Check on the mesh. In cache, choose type to all and check the resumable. Now bake the liquid. The time of baking depends on your graphic card and the resolution of your liquid. 64 is a good number for testing, but it's not good for final resolution. We need something more than 128. Liquid systems can be hard for first time and maybe second time. You can pause the baking with escape key. Select resume to continue baking. You have to play with the options of the domain and the inflow object. Now you can see the liquid. Play the animation with space to see the flowing. Now, there is a problem. The water will pass the donut, but we don't like that. We want from donut to effect on the liquid system. For doing that, go back to the wireframe view. Choose the donut, choose the fluid, and set the type to the effector. Now, fluid system can recognize the donut. We have an explainer option. So what is this? Sometimes when you have a thin effector, something like a plane, water will pass that object. Even you choose that as an effector. Selecting the planner is good for these times and for the objects that they're not empty. Now we don't buy that because the donut is thick enough. If you see the passing water, you can use this option and increasing the sub-steps. Go to the domain and bake again. Now, if you play the animation, you can see the water will flow and the donut can affect on that. Now I want to animate the water rotation. I'm going to increase the number of resolution and making some changes. You have to play with the numbers. Bake again. Sometimes after several times that you bake with 32 or 64 number of resolution, the baking system doesn't work. In these times, you can make the domain again or increasing the resolution. Go to the Material tab and create a new material. Choose a brown color, something like a delicious chocolate. You can decrease the roughness after all. Go to the top of the donut. I want to animate the liquid around the donut. Change the location of sphere. Set 3D cursor to the center of donut and then select the sphere and with right click choose the set origins and set the origins to the 3D cursor. Now you can rotate with R key. Set the frame to 0. Select and right-click on the sphere and choose Insert Keyframe. Select the rotation. Now go to another frame, something like 120 or 160 is good. This is a simulator, so pay attention to the speed. If it's going to be rotate too fast, the water will be thrown away. Now we have to bake again. The result is something like this. I want to make it better. I changed the cube name to the domain. Then I hide that. Because of the donut shape is not too soft, I want to use a torus as an effector. I use that instead of the donut. With Shift I create a torus. Put that in the location of the donut. Hide the donut and use Shade Smooth for the new torus. So it's time to bake again. After baking and hiding the torus, there is a result. You can see my latest option numbers in here. If you have problem with baking, sometimes you have to use the format value as unicache. It's sometimes better. Now I'll fit the liquid on the surface of the donut. Sculpting tool can be useful. I learned you how to work with that in last video. I want to rotate the chocolate and the donut to make a better scene.